In today's episode, we explore the surprising power of tears. You might think crying is a sign of weakness or simply unnecessary, but stick around. We're not here to force tears, but to understand why allowing yourself to cry can be transformative for your growth, your healing, and your freedom. Whether you haven't cried in years or are curious about its benefits, join me to rethink the way you view tears and discover how they can play a powerful role in your emotional wellness. Let's dive in. First of all, let me clarify that there is nothing wrong with you if you don't cry, okay? I'm not going to tell you that you have to cry to be able to go through life, because you don't. But I'm going to share with you why you want to be able to cry to advance your journey of growth, healing, and freedom. There are many, many benefits to shedding tears, and learning these today might make you rethink bringing a good cry back into your life. You might not even be aware that you are missing out because you don't want to cry or believe that you just can't. You might have beliefs that you're not supposed to cry to not look weak or pathetic. Maybe you don't have a problem with crying, but something happened to you and since then you are just not able to cry. Whatever it is that is holding you back from crying, it all ends up in you resisting it. Yes, I said it. You are resisting to cry. Either you do it consciously because you were told that crying is not okay, not wanted, not desired when you were young, or you do it subconsciously because of a trauma or an automated program that is holding you back from letting tears run down your beautiful, beautiful face. But I will say it again, if you have not cried in the last, let's say, 3 years, then you have a resistance inside of you to cry. You hold yourself back from crying, consciously or unconsciously. And if you say now, well, Linda, I'm perfectly fine with not crying, I don't think I'm missing out on anything, that's great. If you don't feel like you're missing something in your life, then you do you. You don't have to cry. It's not necessary. But why do I then say that I want you to be able to cry? Why do I make a whole podcast episode out of this topic? The reason is that I have seen this in too many of my students and friends who don't want to or can't seem to be able to cry, and they are holding themselves back in their healing journey. Not being able to cry or not wanting to cry could be the last 2% that you need to finally make a big step on your journey. Crying is a part of the releasing of certain emotions like sadness, grief, anger, or frustration. Can you process and release these emotions without crying? Yes, you can, to a certain degree. And I know of certain techniques that help you to release trauma and stuck emotions without you reliving these, which means as well, of course, no crying. What I don't believe is that it is helpful or healthy to resist the act of crying. Every time we resist something, we create a blockage inside of us, and that comes with its own problems. Again, do you need to cry to release emotions? No. But is it helpful to make progress on your healing journey? Yes. See crying as a catalyst for your healing. If you let go of the conscious or unconscious barrier to the process of crying, then you have a tool at your disposal that allows you to release blocked emotions much quicker and much more effectively. When I invited people to first let go of that belief that they shouldn't or can't cry, and then bring back the opportunity to use tears in their releasing and healing process, every single person said that they were glad that they finally cried again. Some of them worked on releasing certain emotions for months or even years. And only when they added tears to the process again, after not having it for years, were they finally able to let go of those emotions once and for all. It's like you're missing out on those last 5% of the healing formula. And that's when some of my students get stuck in a loop of working on the same emotional trauma again and again, and never feeling like they're getting anywhere. Then I ask them, in your release process, have you ever cried? And when the answer is no, I say, stop doing what you're doing and first concentrate on bringing the ability to cry back into your life. And when they do, bam, they are making finally progress on their healing journey. And please don't be afraid to start crying out of fear that you won't stop ever again or that it will be too overwhelming for you. When I started to release my stuck emotions, I cried a lot at the beginning. And it felt beautiful to do so and to allow myself to do it. And yes, for the first year, I was more easily on the verge of tears until my body was more used to it again. And so what? I think it's beautiful to cry when you come across beauty, for example, in nature, or when you watch a sad scene in a lovely movie, or when I release a bag of anger from my inside, and the anger then turns into pleading, frustration, or sadness, and the tears are just coming. It's beauty. It's pure release. Now I'm at a point where I can release stuck emotions without the need to cry every time, but I will if I feel the desire to do it. I am more settled in my comfort to cry when I need to or want to. I will never hold back tears ever again. Holding back tears means suppressing emotions, and I'm not going to go there ever again, not for anyone or anything. So let's have a brief look at the benefits that crying provides you. Crying is a way for our bodies to release emotional tension. When we cry, we allow ourselves to let go of that built up and stuck emotion and express our feelings, which can help us then to feel more relaxed and at ease afterwards. Crying has as well been shown to reduce stress levels by releasing stress hormones like cortisol from our bodies. It's like a built-in stress relief mechanism that can help us to feel better during challenging times. And studies that have shown this happening when we cry suggest that crying has a detoxifying effect on our bodies, helping to rid the body of harmful substances that can be created by, of course, keeping emotions suppressed or bottled up. Crying can also improve our mood by triggering the release of endorphins, which are our body's natural feel-good hormones. And these endorphins can help lift our spirit and make you feel better emotionally. Crying can aid in the processing of complex emotions. It can help us work through grief, sadness, anger, or frustration, and facilitates this emotional healing and your recovery. It can also reduce actually physical tension in our bodies. When we cry, we often experience muscle relaxation and a release of physical tension, which can help us feel more calm, more peaceful, more relaxed, and it can even help us sleep better. So how can you start crying again? Obviously, if you have beliefs that you shouldn't cry, then it is easy to let go of these beliefs and start believing that crying is good for you. And then just let it happen the next time you feel like crying. If you have trouble crying, then I advise you to sit with the questions. Why do I stop myself from crying? What is inside of me that doesn't allow me to cry? What kind of belief? What kind of security or safety mechanism is stuck inside of me and believing that it needs to protect me by not crying? And then when you ask yourself these questions, sit there in silence and wait for an answer from your subconscious mind or your higher self, your soul. Open yourself up to receive a memory, a belief, or another emotion that comes up when you ask yourself these questions. Understanding why you are blocked off from the process of crying will help you to release this blockage and then practice again the process of crying. It's a learning process. There was a time when you were a baby and a toddler and you cried. You can do it. There is just something inside of you that doesn't want you to. It could be that you experienced a traumatic event in your life and since then you have not been able to cry again. Then you want to work on releasing the emotions of the event and anything else that comes up in the memory of the experience that could have led you not to cry ever again. I promise you, something will come up if you are brave enough to sit in silence with these questions or journal on them. Journaling helps to open the doors to the subconscious mind and lets the information come to the surface. Your soul wants you to be able to cry. Your soul wants you to cry. It will help you to come back to this natural way of releasing emotions. It's good for you and it's healthy to cry. And on my YouTube channel, you find a guided meditation, the emotional release meditation, where I guide you in the process of releasing and letting go of those stuck emotions. In this meditation, I invite you to cry. I even invite you to shout, to make noises, or to even yell, if this is what the emotion needs for it to be released. Always, of course, in the privacy of your solitude, to not harm any people or even pets in your life, okay? I will link the meditation for you in the video description or just type in Linda Lange Emotional Release Meditation for you to make progress on your healing journey. Enjoy bringing back the release of tears into your life. It's beautiful. And with that, I love you and leave you. Talk soon and bye-bye.